welcome to this presentation by Above and Beyond the Challenge 2 at Hack 17. For some technical reasons, only myself will be able to present today, so you have to withstand my dulcet tones for the next 7 minutes. The challenge we took on was the Leaders in Design, or LID, project for a new disruptive app for driving better coordination of ceiling designs. Ceiling designs are a common pitfall in a lot of projects because a lot of trades are associated with ceiling design. The solution that we came up with is a management tool, a DevOps tool that allows for greater collaboration, is a focus for the design team for the key issues with ceiling design. But crucially, this can be extended to other elements of the building design. But it's a platform to allow the different users with their different access rights to see and get out what they need to for this app, whether that be the latest status of the project in terms of ceiling design, or for uploading information, or for approving information that has been uploaded from the supply chain. Our app allows for insights to be taken for future projects, particularly in relation to performance against key metrics for ceiling design and how they performed against the plan. Now, we do collect some personal information when it comes to the contact details for designers. This allows for us to have automated notification systems with the app, and therefore we do have to comply with GDPR. We would make sure that this database is stored in the cloud for extra security, and we would also allow for deleting this information once the project has been closed. The approach we took for this challenge was, first of all, defining the use cases. We had 3 main use cases from the data set that was given to us. This was client and consultant team. Contract finally had supply chain, mainly uploading information and raising RFIs to the architect's drawings. We then established solutions for each use case. We listed them out and saw what would be the best solution. Then we established automations between the different solutions, how they'd interact with each other. Then we built the solutions. And then finally, we identified some expansion and extension projects that could be added on. The foundation of this is, of course, the databases. We have 4 databases, and this is a schema between those databases. The main one is a project opening database. It initiates a project code that is unique for each project and allocates the key dates that you use for generating those metrics I mentioned. Here's a quick look at the Excel databases. In an ideal world, we would have gone with SharePoint lists, but for time purposes, we went with an Excel sheet. A SharePoint list would be advantageous because of the one source of truth. So what you can see on the screen now is the main user interface for the app. Each 3 use cases will have a different version of this user interface depending on their access rights. But principally, if you want to open a project, you can click here, you get an automatically generated random number. The project code, which is the primary key throughout the databases, as explained earlier in the presentation. That submits, sends it to the project opening database. We'll then do a quick demonstration here. Contact database, which we have a view-only gallery just here on the right-hand side to check that it's gone through. And we'll reference this now when we're inputting the drawing details. Update the milestones on that project. And here we can see the project that we just created. We can edit it and we can put in some actual dates. This is key for tracking performance against the key milestones. Update the drawing status, similar to the previous step. We may want to raise an RFI. So here you see the process of adding an RFI. Here we are editing an existing RFI, changing status. So what you see on the screen now is the main Power BI visualization. That is the output of the Power App. This will be used in meetings as a collaboration tool to really focus attention of the project team. This first page is a project summary, so we can choose one project or a multiple number of projects, and it will show us some specific metrics, which are essentially actual durations versus planned durations, which we filled in the Power App for a number of different metrics. And this scenario, positive numbers are bad because that means actual duration exceeded planned duration. And we've highlighted this in this table at the bottom with conditional formatting for those that are positive numbers in red. They're the areas that need attention. And from this, you can draw insights as to what particular metrics are issues over time. We can also look at RFIs that we raised in the Power App. Again, we can filter for project or multiple projects. And we get a summary of the status here on the right, ones that are closed or pending, and ones that are completed. And we can also see who that RFI is directed to, again, during the collaboration meetings, providing some focus as to who the RFIs are associated with. Finally, we can look at RFI by ceiling type. So we can select the drawing, and we can be told where on the drawing and ceiling type that particular RFI is associated with, what its status is, and some more detail in this table here. So you have it, our app. The main benefits of this app, as mentioned, are having a closer management of costs and reduction in design fee burn. With those metrics that compare actual versus planned durations, you can understand where the key risks are in terms of extension of times and design fees. This extra focus on these key areas that commonly lead to problems with reduced amount of bottlenecks and design delays. And risk mitigation against these delays, where you see that there's a common theme of a particular metric being poor performing across multiple similar projects. You can allow for this. You can allow for this in the program and also your contingencies. And this tool, as I say, is a collaboration tool. It brings everyone together, and that should encourage greater synchronization of the building interfaces. Future developments would be to overlay drawings to illustrate changes across all the different trades that have their different drawings. We'd like to automate drawing submissions. This would increase the amount of engagement with the app. The synoptic designer that you saw in the Power BI solution would be developed further so that you could change the drawing and it would update the synoptic designer panel. And real-time notifications using Power Automate for when a metric has gone past a certain delay. Here are 3 questions that were asked partway through day 2. So how does your tool account for different regulations in different areas? The tool would be able to change to reflect the requirements of local markets, particularly to do with that personal contact database and the information there. So obviously GDPR governing in the EU. Question 2, as data is required to ensure the app is beneficial, what controls would you put in place to ensure the app is utilised? First of all, we'd like to, in that future expansion, make sure that people had to upload their information through the tool.